Hi, and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name's Chris, and it's fantastic to have you back with us for another video. And in today's video, I want to talk about Metaverse, and I'm going to sort of talk about the stuff that people aren't really talking about in the space. And it doesn't matter where you look at the moment, everybody on YouTube in the crypto space is talking about Metaverse. Maybe this is just to get clicks. Maybe it's because it's the main thing that's in the media right now. But you know, there's lots of stuff that people aren't really talking about in the space. So this is what this video is for. It's just to make sure people are sort of aligning their thought process with the right sort of level of expectations when it comes to Metaverse. Do let me know in the comments below whether you agree or disagree with what I'm highlighting here. But you know, it comes from a good place, right? I think, you know, there's lots of influencers that are shilling metaverse projects, potentially paid content, and they're not being transparent about that. And you know, I'm very much of the opinion that metaverse is fantastic. It's going to be amazing. But I think there are certain things that need to be talked about. So do let me know in the comments below whether you agree or disagree with me and why. Really interested to read your comments and opinions. If you like this sort of content, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, tapping that bell, selecting all the notifications so you never miss a video. And yeah, let's sort of get into this. I'm going to try not to be, you know, too long and babble on too much, but there are certain things that I do think need to be said. So there was a certain influencer that said, you know, you should potentially, you know, take this opportunity and invest in everything metaverse. You know, for me, that's like throwing mud and seeing whether it sticks. I don't agree with that approach. I think everybody should do their research. We say this all the time. There's lots of influencers shilling metaverse projects, and you know, they're being paid to. They're not telling you that is what it is. Now, I'm not against paid content, and I don't think anybody else should be either. You know, as a viewer, you know, it should make no difference whether it's paid content or not paid content. And part of the reason why YouTubers aren't putting down that it's paid content is because the viewers are so against paid content that, you know, YouTubers are now starting not to highlight when it is paid content, right? So I guess ask yourself whether, you know, you want to live in a world where you're not sure whether it's paid content, or a world where you know it's paid content, right? So for me, better the devil you know. And we always highlight paid content on this channel. But you know, for me, you need to do your own research. Really important. And I just want to highlight, like, there are so many metaverse projects now, and you're going to see more and more pop up. And you know, if you just threw mud or threw money at every single one of these, you'd probably be broke, and you're probably not going to make any money. You know, one or two will do really well, and a lot are not going to do very well. So I think it's really important to make sure you do your research into these projects, and don't just FOMO in on these projects. You know, 70% up Sandbox. You know, we believe this one's got more in the tank. There are going to be waves. Some of these are going to do really well. We've got Meta Hero, I know, has been on a certain channel recently, and where is it? No, I'm just going to search for it. But you know, it's reached an all-time high. Meta Hero, here we go. Up at 22, so up 51%. So you know, I guess, you know, going on a certain person's channel really does move the needle for a project. But you know, I wouldn't be getting in when a project is 51% up for the day. You know, you just got to do your own research, right? Now, I've got nothing against Meta Hero. I think it's a fantastic project. It's likely to do really, really well. But with all that said, you know, it's important that you do your research and just don't FOMO into some of these projects. So that's my first thing here, is the sector is getting overcrowded very, very fast. So, you know, it's really important you do that research and you select the right projects. So my second thing that I really wanted to highlight was around scams. We see how many projects are you know, popped up here, right? Now there are going to be some scams amongst these. I am certain of it, right? We see scams every day in DeFi. We see it in the NFT space. And I'm telling you now, the metaverse gaming sector is going to see a lot of rug pulls, honeypot scams, and all that sort of stuff. So really important that you do your research. Really important that you understand the team, the use case, all of this sort of stuff, right? We want to try to keep people as safe as possible. So that's kind of number 2 on here that a lot of people I don't feel are highlighting enough and should do in this space. And then, the third thing that I wanted to highlight is, what is more important to invest in, or where is your investment best placed? Is it in the coins or tokens, however you want to refer to them, or is it in the land or property within the metaverse? Now, for me, it's going to be in the land within the metaverse projects that are scarce. That's, for me, is where the value really is. You can invest in the tokens and the coins, and Nick and myself will do, but we're not going to do that now. There will be waves where people can make tremendous gains in these particular projects. I mentioned MetaHero. We know people that watched the channel that got in at less than a cent or even a cent, and they're doing really well for themselves, and that's fantastic. But I wouldn't be FOMOing in, when it's up 70% or 50% and so on, right? I think there's going to be far more value later on. So the next thing that I sort of wanted to bring up, which is the fourth aspect here, and that is aligning people's thought processes with reality when it comes to metaverse. Right now, there are 1 or 2, possibly more games, metaverses that are up and running and doing really well, right? And are solid projects. But as a whole, the whole sector isn't in that sort of space, and it probably isn't aligned with people's thought processes of what a metaverse should look like and what it does look like. So I think without beating around the bush, where I'm kind of getting to is metaverse isn't ready yet. It isn't where it needs to be for it to be metaverse as people envision it. So I really wanted to highlight this, that if you're making an investment in the metaverse, that's fantastic and you're super early, but it should be, in my opinion, and it is just my opinion, and you can let me know in the comments below whether you disagree with me, it should be very much in your mind that this is a long-term investment. Don't get me wrong, there are waves when you purchase the coins, tokens, where you can make short-term gains. But if you're purchasing land and property within a metaverse, it might take a year, 2 years before you start to see any of that value upon a return. So I just wanted to kind of just put people's minds, or get that in people's minds, that really a lot of these metaverse projects are only just popping up and they're not ready yet. So we should probably align our expectations with that. So that's my fourth thing that I wanted to highlight. And the fifth thing that I wanted to highlight is the bear market, right? So it's fantastic in a bull market, but most of the money is made in a bear market. We're going to see the market pull back significantly when we go into a bear market, and that is the time when Nick and myself will be purchasing up really solid investments in metaverse, maybe coins and tokens, as we kind of feel like that's going to be where there's going to be more value in the market. So those are my thoughts and opinions, things that I really wanted to sort of air and get out there. I don't want this to be seen as a really negative video. I just wanted to highlight that the sector is going to get crowded. I wanted to highlight that there's going to be lots of scams. I wanted to highlight that metaverse projects aren't where they need to be for them to be ultra successful, but they are getting there. I wanted to highlight where I would be putting my investment, and Nick and myself have made a large investment in commercial property or land, both, in a certain metaverse that isn't live yet. And ultimately I wanted to talk about when Nick and myself would be looking to purchase coins and tokens for metaverse projects. Now, I don't want this to detract away from how great metaverse is. It's fantastic. It's going to be immense. You're here super early, but sometimes there's early and there's there's too early. Now, I don't think you're too early to buy land and property within Metaverse. I think, you know, it's primed, it's a good time. The coins and stuff in a bear market, my humble opinion is I'm going to hold off and I'm going to wait. It's up to you what you guys do. It's just my opinion. It's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. But there's a lot of people jumping on the bandwagon here. Doesn't matter where you look. Everybody's talking about Metaverse, and it is fantastic. But I don't think everybody's being really clear and transparent about where Metaverse currently is. But do let me know in the comments below what your thoughts and opinions are. I'm really interested to know. I don't want, you know, I'm not putting down Metaverse projects. I think they're great. But, you know, this is my opinion. But do see if you can change my opinion if you don't agree. Really interested to get your views and opinions. If you like the video, hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Tapping that bell, selecting all the notifications so you never miss a video. With that said, done. I want to thank you for watching the video today, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.